You can be here on a sunny beach rather than here in a Dillbert cubicle if you carefully budget and save for the future. And in this budget file, there's a free link in the description. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. And you can do it even if you're on a relatively low income. People like this guy, the wealthy barber, have done it through proper planning, and I think you can too. With this file, make a copy from the file menu, and then it's all yours and you can play with it. So the results are that you'll model your total income, your total expenditure, see whether you've got money to save for the future or not, break down your spend by category, then you benchmark it against some which data of actual spending by which subscribers, and you can see whether you're better or worse than your budget. So to fill it all in, you just go to one of these tabs, you just populate for your numbers, then the type of expenditure, so whether it's discretionary, whether it's a direct debit, whether it's an annual cost or a variable cost. You put in the frequency of the billing, and then the amount will come through here. If it's an annual bill, you just need to say which month you're spending the money in, and then it'll automatically pull through. So what you'll get is something like this. You select the month, it tells you what you're actually going to spend, things that in the short term you're saving up for, such as holidays. So you might not actually spend any money on a holiday in a month, but you need to put money aside for it. And then what bills are specifically coming in December, and here I'm spending £200 on Christmas presents. It's telling me that for the month I've got a forecasted surplus, so I should look to transfer that towards some kind of pension or long-term saving. And then again, this is very similar, bit of a fancy graph for it, expenses and income. And then what I do is I just put my actual individual transactions in here. These are the recurring expenses, and then this is like the Christmas one-off expenses in that month. So a one-off might be something like an insurance payment, something like that. So just fill all this in, and then it'll pull through here, and I can track each month how well I'm doing. It also groups the amounts by different types of spend. So whether it's a direct debit, whether it's an annual spend like a TV license, whether it's variable spend like your food bills, and whether it's discretionary like a holiday. And what you can do is called like an envelope system, or the T. Harv Eker jars system, and you set up different bank accounts for different types of expenditure. So one is direct debit and annual, and you always keep this bank account fed, but it's for really the essential bills where you're going to get a red note through the post if you don't spend them. So that's one account. Another account is for the variable spend, so things like food and toiletries, but when that's spent at the end of the month, that's it, that's all you've got. So you can't keep like eating out if you've already spent a lot of money on a haircut, for example. Then the discretionary spend, that's a separate bank account, and that's how you're saving up for the nicer things in life, but you're also tracking it. So you've got much more control if you have different bank accounts for different things. And then we've got, this is the which data here. This is the website that it all comes from. There's another website as well there, so you can look at different types of information to benchmark against. Here's some data from the Office of National Statistics. So if you want, you can benchmark how much money you spend on fresh fruit a week, if that floats your boat. You can do it by age group, or you can do it by income decile, so the wealthy people here, poor people here. And then it's also telling you how many people there are in a household, so you can modify it according to how many people there are in your household. For interest and debt payments, you can log them all here, and I've got a debt snowball file, and I'll post a link to that in the description, and you can use that file to help you pay down your debts and get motivated around reducing this expenditure and freeing up cash for things that you really want in life. So that is the file. I hope you've enjoyed it. The next step would be to do more of a lifetime financial plan to work out when you can retire, at what age and what money you could expect in retirement, and I'll put a link to that in the description as well, and it's well worth checking out that video.